Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about expertise with Mrs. Hanna Järvenoja. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
Fine, thank you. So Hanna is working as an associate professor in Learning and Educational Technology Research Unit. And my first question for you is that, of course you can first describe in more details what you do and what kind of projects are going on right now and kind of describe your daily work.
Okay, so as you said, I'm working in Learning and Educational Technology Research Unit as an assistant professor. I have a tenure track on professorship on that. And my main duties are research work. And I mainly work with our Finnish academy-funded projects, and my responsibilities there are dealing with motivation and emotion in learning and self-regulated learning in general, and all these kind of social aspects, how learning is socially constructed. So that's my research focus.
Okay, and do you think yourself as an expert, and maybe if you could reflect that from which perspective you do and maybe from which perspective you don't?
Well, I think at least I should expect that I am an expert in learning sciences, in research, and that's also something that is evaluated by others to getting this position. And yeah, definitely I feel that I'm expert in these areas. I was also already telling you which are my responsibilities. But of course this question of expertise is something like it's not that straightforward for me. I definitely know that there are lots of areas I don't understand that well, and of course the whole research work is like constant learning and understanding more. So often it feels more like that I know all the areas where I'm not expert, but which I should learn even better and understand better, rather than thinking that is something that I have already accomplished by now. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. And if you think your own field of work in general, this research work, how do you recognize that somebody is an expert?
Yeah, I was thinking that already before this, and I was thinking a couple of really concrete examples. And one thing which I think shows that you know your field of work and you are kind of expert in that field is, well, in research, lots of your work is really writing your research, representing it to others by writing it down. And important part of that is how you refer to other literature, other research done before, and how an expert uses this literature and how references are used. It shows really differently how you understand the background, the history of this research field. You know often those other writers you are citing at least by name. You know their work, you know where they come from, on what kind of theoretical grounding they have in their work. And you use this knowledge when you refer those literature, those other papers. So they are not often that straightforward what was actually written to the paper. Whereas if you are starting your research career, you are noticing that you probably use the references so that what was actually written word by word, sentence by sentence. And that's totally different way to use.
Yeah. So they have kind of the skill to apply and interpret the knowledge in different contexts.
That's right. The interpretation is different.
Yeah.
Another thing I was also thinking, what was that? I write it down somewhere. Yeah, the other example I was thinking was the data, how you use the methods, how you analyze your data. When you are an expert, you can be more creative. You can make it up in a way, because you know how these things works, what you can do differently, what you can change. Yeah, you don't have to follow the guidebook by point, as you do when you are doing, for example, your master thesis or your first research. That was another example I was thinking.
Yeah, good. And do you think that expertise is something you can learn, or is it something that kind of develops naturally? And what is the role of the formal education in developing one's own expertise?
Well, yeah, definitely expertise is something you learn, or it's the process is learning, definitely. It's getting to know, understand better. How you start to build your expertise is, I think, probably you start to participate in the community of that expert area, and you start to learn about that and participate on that, and that's the process how you get to be part of it and grow.
But do you think that in all cases formal education is kind of part of that? You can't be an expert without a formal education in your own field?
What do you think? Well, I guess you can be without it, but of course it makes it easier and faster, especially if those who run the formal education are part of that expert community, and they already know that they can help you to start to get to the right aspects and points faster. But yeah, there are other pathways to grow into your expertise as well.
And of course it depends, for my opinion, of the field.
Yeah,
what is
definitely.
Your field?
Yeah, I'm thinking my own research. But yeah, it's important part to be participant also in that formal education. You start by doing a master's, then you continue by doing a PhD studies and complete your PhD, and then you grow from there.
Yeah. Can you, in concrete way, to describe something that how do you yourself develop your own expertise right now? What are the ways or methods?
Yeah, well, one thing what was thought for me when I came to be part of this community is that this reading. You read, you follow what other people do, you also read and write and think together and construct your understanding with others. And that's one big thing that I don't even like it, but I think it's really important and essential that you construct your understanding with others. So that's how I built my expertise. Reading what other people are doing and how they progress, and also collaborating and communicating with others and building these new ideas together.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you for the interview, Anna.
You're welcome.